DJ Akademiks tells Lamar Odom the 3 ways Diddy can get out of his current situation. So I've listened to this clip already, and I want you guys to pay attention to this. And then I'm going to read some of the comments, and then I'm going to tell you my conclusion. Because this is what he says is very interesting. Listen to the message, not the messenger, because I already told you how I felt about DJ Akademiks. But this is interesting. Take a listen. Take a listen to this. I might have to refresh the page and pause it. Oh no, I don't have to. Here we go.
Right now, like yo, if you're not trying to get canceled, it's the only way to be. I think Diddy got to do that.
What?
I said there's 3 ways Diddy can get out of his situation publicly. I don't know about the feds. The feds might still get him. 1, he got to come out, tell the whole world that he's been gay or been bi, or that really he always identified as a woman. That's one way. Second way is to say that he had mental health issues and, he's seeking therapy. He's been seeking therapy to send through. The last way is to say he apologizes, but all his actions was because he was touched as a child. Yeah, only 3 ways. And people will be like, you know what? Oh, you got fucked too? No wonder you doing freak offs.
Yo.
No, real talk. Like,
that's crazy.
Like, we live in a land of trauma, and if people see you as a monster, just enacting unwanted, unprecedented trauma without you at least leading up to I mean, obviously he's not white. Like, remember the whole thing with like Timothy McVeigh, the nigga, the white terrorist? It was like, well, let's look into his past. You know what I mean? I don't know if a black dude could pull it up, but I think Diddy's the closest one. Right now.
So let's look at the comments. Somebody said, "Sir, you need to go to jail too." Somebody said, "A man facing R-word allegations shouldn't even be opening his mouth." Somebody said, "S.A. defending S.A.ers." S.A.ers defending S.A.ers is crazy. He said, "How can we ban ninjas from getting podcasts?" Oh, that's just another man-hating comment. Somebody said they need to lock him up with Diddy and see if he can find 3 ways out of the cell. Somebody else says he's not defending Diddy. He's pointing out a flaw in society. Just went right over your all heads. Bingo. Bingo. And this is where my opinion comes in. DJ Akademiks is right. What do you think when these people go to these lawyers? How about this here? Forget all that real quick. Imagine if this is a woman. Do you think what DJ Akademiks said, those 3 things, if a woman was facing similar allegations, could she get away with it in terms of using these 3 strategies? Think about it. And then how about this? Let's put it back to as a man. We already have we already got men using women's wet restrooms right now. We got men running track with bitches already right now. This is he's pointing out the flaw. What I'm trying to think of what they call it, the loophole. There is a loophole that predators use to get out of shit. And because you guys hate DJ Akademiks so much, even though I don't like I said, like almost with Drake, I don't really have much respect for Akademiks, but he's telling you these are the ways that he can get out of avoiding prison. Now, I don't think he's going to get away with it, but I think somebody else will. I think somebody else can use this to get out of facing the accountability that they use. Because we already have men dressing up as wigs, going into women's bathrooms, being perverts. We already have that. We already got men in women's sports. So Diddy could pull it off. I don't think he will. I don't think he can. You know what I mean? I don't think that'll save them. But I believe those 3 things that DJ Akademiks mentioned, I believe another celebrity will use that to get out of a situation. And people will just be shocked. How did he get out of this situation? DJ Akademiks just told you. And you were just like, it's another predator defending another predator. No, he's just telling you. He's literally giving you the game. He's literally giving you the game, but people think too emotionally. It's almost like when we talk about the age of consent, right? That's the perfect analogy I can think of right now. The age of consent. Like, you'll talk about the age of consent, and then you'll have a stupid 304, or sorry, a stupid woman, or a stupid older woman that will just be like, "What? How do you know? How do you know about the age of consent? Why do you know these things? Do you do research on this?" And you're just like, is it illegal for me to know the law? People like, "You're a perv for knowing that," and I'm like, okay. Say I don't know that 16 is the legal age of consent, and I end up having a daughter, right? She ends up running away with a ninja. I have no idea who this guy is, and then I call the police and say she's been kidnapped. Do you know what the police is going to tell me? Sorry, she's an adult. Do you know how many parents that has happened to? Their daughter runs away with somebody. This just happened to somebody's son. A son ran away with a nigga somewhere. From some they don't even know where the older nigga came from. Came up, pick up his 16-year-old son, and they're calling the police like he's been kidnapped. And they're just like, no, he's 16. This is the age of consent. But for some reason, people are so emotional when it comes to these kind of things. They don't understand the grand scheme. They don't understand the bigger picture. And I see it with the way these normies vote. You can tell they don't get the bigger picture. All these motherfuckers voting for Sleepy Joe, even though he literally, when you looked at his policies before the election, he's literally showing you that he was going to make the country worse. But let's stand up for George Floyd because because I'm a good person, right? And people still voted for Sleepy Joe. You have ninjas complaining about immigration, and at the same time they voted for Sleepy Joe because they don't understand the bigger picture. They don't understand the bigger picture about these things. Like all the stuff that people complain about, they vote for it. If you ask any other people from the Holocaust, right, or not necessarily the Holocaust, people that lived in Germany during the time when the other N-words, the other N-word people were ruling. The German citizens at the time, they said that it wasn't a hostile takeover. Everything that you saw, they voted it in because people don't understand the bigger picture. People don't understand. So really what a smart person would say, this is interesting. Maybe we should do something to make sure that predators in the future don't get to use this loophole so they can escape accountability. Maybe that's what we should do. Or do not be shocked when Diddy uses that line. And let's see what we can do about it from there. But no. you got it's mostly ninjas in the comment section. They don't see the bigger picture. They just don't see the bigger picture.
Like, yo, if you're not trying to get canceled, it's the only way to be. I think Diddy got to do that.
What?
I said there's 3 ways Diddy can get out of his situation publicly. I don't know about the feds. The feds might still get him. One, he got to come out, tell the whole world that he been gay or been bi, or that really he always identified as a woman.
That can work for Diddy because I remember like during R. Kelly's trial, they kind of brought up about him hinting to him being bi, but they didn't really commit to it. But Diddy could use that because it's pretty clear what's out. It's out there. He can't even hide it no more.
That's one way. Second way is to say
and by the way, like you're literally seeing men getting away with it now with men doing women's sports. So
that he had mental health issues. And,
and that's something that women have been using to get out of their situations. You've seen literally, it was like a woman that she like stabbed her boyfriend like umpteenth times, right? And then they found out that then they basically try to say, oh, she was suffering from a psychosis, whatever. She had a mental health thing and from smoking weed or blah blah blah, and she got away with it. So there's a lot of people have used mental health to get away with taking accountability, particularly women.
He's seeking therapy.
Yeah. He's he's been seeking therapy this and third. The last way is to say he apologizes, but all his actions was because he was touched as a child.
Yeah. And that's something that they did in the R. Kelly trial. It didn't work, but they're going to use he is going to use either one of the three or all three. So this is very possible. I need people to look at this in an objective landscape so people can know what's coming in the future. But like I said, when you're particularly when you're dealing with ninjas, like you can't talk to ninjas about this stuff. You can't talk to ninjas about it. they get way too sensitive about these issues. But like I said, shout out to KB the Don. He said he's not defending Diddy. He's pointing out a flaw in society. Just went right over your heads. But like I said, it's just, this is why guys like DJ Akademiks, unfortunately, as slimy as this motherfucker is, he's going to continue to win because even if he is a predator, look how far ahead he is ahead of you guys. Look how far ahead. He's going to get away. Like, I already know. Like, for example, it'll be like, they'll say this. They'll like condemn a DJ Akademiks, and I'll just say, okay, I see what he's saying. But at the same time, if DJ Akademiks come around, these will be the first people on Snapchat. Hey, look who I see. trying to post this ninja for views and all this stuff. Meanwhile, I'll make sure whoever's my friend or whoever, and like, don't hang out with academics, don't hang out with this, or I'll make sure I'll stay away from these people. And it'll be people saying I'm the bad guy, and then I'll be people like, man, why you always by yourself in a corner? And I'm like, you guys are hanging around the predators that y'all were saying that I was defending, and I'm just back here like this. I'm not trying to be near that. It's crazy. It's crazy how this works, because at the end of the day, these guys are ahead of you. You guys don't see it coming. Let me see. I saw another. So they said, sometimes I understand what women be talking about when they complain about. Nah. Like I said, these people, they don't understand. Yes, it might not work with a ninja, but it's gonna work for somebody. I hope people took notes of the things that, first of all, people are in society are already using these things to get out of pinches. But for some reason, when it pops up, people can't identify it in real time. Let me see. I'm trying to look for the comment. Somebody said this is the comment I was looking for. He said he's actually right. Y'all just hate the person that's saying it. What he's saying is Diddy has to publicly make himself a victim, then the culture will not see him as bad. And he's right. Plenty of politicians and public figures have done this. And I'll take it a step further. Remember Bryce from 13 Reasons Why? Do you remember, remember the last season of 13 Reasons Why, where they basically made Bryce like the victim? And I was like, I was the person saying, like, I don't look at Bryce as the villain here in this story. I remember people, how can you say such a thing? And then at the end of the day, people are looking at Bryce as the victim in the last season. I'm like, you guys are looking at Bryce as the victim now? Why? Because now you're seeing that, he struggles with this and he couldn't get redemption. He was looking for redemption. He cried when the nigga was doing yoga. I mean, are y'all that easily fooled? Like, when Bryce ended up dying, I was like, well, that's on him. But he turned into the victim in the story. I was like, how? He never changed. Why? Because he's a Chad? And this is why I was like, that's why in the beginning I said Bryce is not really a villain. He's not really the villain, because people still wanted to use him. They still wanted to get the advantages of hanging out with Bryce. Like I said, this is why I stay away from normies. Somebody said, so basically just keep lying. Yes. Yes. You know what? That's another person that low key gets it. Because watch this. There's going to be people in the future. They continue to use that strategy. Women using the mental health strategy, men using the gender struggle strategy, so they can still be predators, so they can hide their predatory behavior. And then the third one, the child being touched as a child. That's something everybody's going to use in the future. I'm talking about women and men, particularly female teachers.